going down, everybody? It's your boy, that guy, my high, to back in front of the reaction. This time we got another one of them. We Are Top, I think is actually what the channel's name is. WA Top. It's We Are Top, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Anyways, I was about to be like, wait, is that right? But I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Let's give a big shout out to all these members of the channel, man. Let's jump into this video called When a Turtle Dies, Something Comes Out of It. Yeah, we're gonna find out. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Okay, don't ask. Just wait. We're gonna find out together. Okay, I don't know. Taylor, Shauna, Trey 420, Driver Thoughts, Kara, Neek, Dwayne, Nick, Dave, Hollaboy, Happy Chick, Wild Turkey, Jamal, Netcoast, Lynn Willow, Epic Service, Misty Summers, Ryan, Sam, Keith, Manly, Funny Farm, Hologirl, Diesel, Creatively Insane, Nicole, Aaron, Mama Dukes, Robin Lynn, Amy Jane Doe, Liz, Nugget, My Hood Life, and Gary Willis. Gang. You dig what I'm saying? If y'all want to join those amazing individuals and getting shout outs, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And then once you do that, you'll have the option to hit the join button. And if you hit the join button, you'll have 3 different options to choose from as far as being a member. So yeah, check it out and see if there's, something that fits your fancy. If not, subscribing is just free. So please subscribe. It helps your boy out tremendously. So let's move on to this video, man. When a turtle dies, something comes out of it. I know it sounds funny, but just let's see what's going on. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what's going on or what to expect.
Meet the Planus minutus crabs. They live in the North Atlantic Ocean and are very small. Usually they reach a maximum length of 0.4 inches. Naturally, given these dimensions, the crab can't swim for a particularly long time. It can endure only 45 minutes at 82 degrees Fahrenheit, and then it drowns. So the crab had to look for another way to travel and decided to hitch a ride. These crabs build their homes on anything that floats: timbers, ship hulls, plastic debris, and even sea turtles. The last option is especially interesting because the crabs hide in a small area between the tail and the shell of the turtle. 80% of loggerhead sea turtles have been found to have such neighbors. But is it normal for turtles to coexist with crabs under their tails? I think
the question, is it harmful to the turtle? I think that's the bigger question that I'm more concerned about. Like, does the turtle get harmed by this crab thinking that he just needs to, hitch a hike, hitch a ride in the ass part of the shell of the turtle? Like, that's
bothering them. So maybe it's better to just get the crabs out of there. Nope. People used to believe that crabs feed on turtle feces, but now scientists are certain that these tiny crustaceans fill a cleaning role. It means they don't do any harm. Things get even better. There's also enough space under the turtle's tail for a couple of crabs. That is, they find a partner, find a turtle's butt, and live happily, mating and breeding in their love nest under the tail. That looks like a good place for a chair. And let's hang the curtains there. Shark? It's a shark! Hey there, tone it down, please. Ugh, the nerve. And then Steve and I thought that there must be a scientific name for this kind of behavior. Scientists love giving names to everything, and we were right. This is called commensalism. That is a type of relationship between two living organisms in which one organism benefits from the other without harming it. The reasons can be different. For example, shelter or food. There are actually many cases of commensalism in nature.
It's like a working relationship.
And for some reason, they often have something to do with butts. For example, pearlfish, which have a very thin, scaleless body, often get into the body cavities of invertebrates such as clams, oysters, and starfish. And some even live exclusively in the anuses of sea cucumbers. As soon as this fish stumbles upon a sea cucumber...
Bro, what? What the hell was that? Bro, what the... Oh my Lord, Jesus, that was a little X-rated. Like, what the hell?
It finds its anus. It's not difficult. It just needs to follow the current of water expelled through the anus. After finding it, the fish gets inside and no longer wants to get out. Usually there's one fish per sea cucumber, in rare cases a couple. But in 1977, a researcher found an entire hostel. 15 fish inside a poor sea cucumber. 15.
Damn.
Unfortunately, or maybe for the best, we don't know for sure what sea cucumbers feel when the pearlfish decide to use them as shelter. However, they don't seem to be happy. It's clear that sea cucumbers can't utter their discontent. They simply have no organ to speak with. But sometimes sea cucumbers have been known to try to block their anuses so no one gets in, although they do need to breathe anyway. So pearlfish simply squirm up into the hole and wait for the sea cucumber to take a breath, and then they calmly get inside. But the most interesting thing is that some sea cucumbers are quite toxic, And this is a completely
This is like,
normal way
why
to
would
fend
you go
off
live in
predators.
the anus of a
Most of them simply
sea
won't eat a
cucumber?
creature that can poison them. But no toxin will help against pearlfish. These fish have simply developed immunity, most likely thanks to the mucus that coats their bodies. In short, if they see an unoccupied sea cucumber, they'll get inside it, and nothing will stop them. Compared to
That
this
is the
behavior,
craziest
oxpeckers
shit
that sleep
ever.
in the armpits of giraffes are quite civilized. Actually, the fact that birds like to sit on large African mammals during the day has long been known to anyone. Buffaloes, giraffes, elands, any animals will do if there are enough tasty parasites like ticks in their coats. Though no one knew until recently that yellow-billed oxpeckers also spend the night on their hosts. They choose a quieter and more comfortable place, like between the legs or on the stomach. Thankfully, giraffes don't go through the same experience as sea cucumbers, and oxpeckers aren't trying to get deep in. Giraffes' armpits work fine for them. They choose to spend the night there to reserve the mammal and not look for a new animal every day just to grab a bite. In this case, spending the night on the chosen giraffe is the perfect strategy.
So, but
Sometimes
their-
up
do
to
their
7
claws, like-
oxpeckers can stay in the armpits of one giraffe. Does it tickle? Scientists haven't been able to figure this out yet, but let's give them a little time, because this is the first study of the behavior of birds at night. They're usually observed only during the day.
That's crazy. Could you imagine walking about on a giraffe and
Birds
just
are
seeing a whole
actually
bunch of
damn
birds
smart when it
stuffed in
comes to
its pits?
commensalism and observation.
Sounds
Take,
uncomfortable
for
as
example,
shit.
the tropical forests of Central and South America. This is where you can find army ants. And if you've already seen some of our videos, then you probably know that many insects and small animals try to stay as far away from army ants as possible. So as soon as the army ants
them
head out,
things is
their
vicious.
potential prey scurries to get out of the way. The birds notice this and quickly realize that if they follow the army ants, they can find a lot of food. But the thing is that some bird species not just began to use it for their purposes. Over millions of years of evolution, they've become so accustomed to eating next to army ants, they've completely lost the ability to get food in any other way. And this is quite interesting because ants
What?
can actually kill birds that use them to find food. Ants don't really care who they eat. However, for the birds, the benefit seems to outweigh the risk of death since they've chosen to follow the ants and be entirely dependent on them. At the same time, other
Wow.
birds are,
Mother
so to
Nature.
say, on the
Evolution's a
giving end of
motherfucker.
commensal relations. Their work is exploited by lizards. Tuataras are cute reptiles endemic to New Zealand. Like many endemics, tuataras require strict, determined conditions to thrive. For a comfortable life, the body temperature of the tuatara should be within 60 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Temperatures in the forest they live in can drop significantly lower than this mark at night, so the animals have to warm up again the next day. One way to do this is to bask in the sun, but this is a very slow process. So the tuataras have come up with something better. They
A way to
spend
keep
nights
their
in
heat.
burrows which are made by fairy prions. And tuataras don't care whether the owners of the burrow are at home or not. Perhaps it's even warmer when the birds are there. Studies have shown that a night spent in a burrow allows reptiles to raise their body temperature faster during the day, which means they have a head start. This way, tuataras
That's
get
smart.
more time to forage for food, which allows them to grow faster, reproduce more actively, and generally become more successful than other reptiles without shelter.
Interesting.
However, one of the most famous examples of commensal relations
See,
involve
like those types of relationships in the animal kingdom, just like, you know what I'm saying? That type of stuff makes sense where it's like, you know, motherfuckers just kind of like finding solutions to their problems. I guess the first one, I can't really say that because that was the same thing that the weird little snake thing was doing to the sea cucumber. He was finding a solution to his problem. He just found a very shitty one. A very shitty solution, in my opinion. Like that, I still can't get over that, bro. What I was trying to say is like some of these relationships make way more sense than others. You know, like that's the bottom line.
jackals and tigers. If you've read The Jungle Book by Kipling, you probably remember Tabaki, the jackal, who was always tagging along with Shere Khan. And this is not something the writer made up. Lonely jackals banned from their pack enter into a commensal relationship with tigers. The jackal chooses a tiger and tags along at a safe distance in order to feed on its prey. As a payment, the jackal may warn the tiger of danger with a loud howl, but this doesn't necessarily happen. Usually, tigers simply tolerate such companions, allowing them to hang around and don't show any kind of aggression. Moreover, there was a case when other
That's
tigers
interesting.
ignored the jackal which accompanied one of them. And then I thought our video could use some spiders.
No,
Well, we've already mentioned the ants, so why not? Before you get to the point, though, you need to know that most spiders eject silk only from the glands at their rear ends, but the spider of the Cytodes genus is an exception. It can also shoot silk from its mouth part, and it does so with great force and impregnates the strands with toxins in order not only to trap its prey, but also immediately poison it. Sound scary? You bet it does.
Yeah.
Even other spiders are wary of their spitting cousins. Moreover, cytode spiders often prey on small Phentella pietensis spiders, and even build their nests right above them and catch them as soon as they leave their home. Sometimes cytodes even tap on their prey's nest to see if anyone's home. And yet the little spider is not completely defenseless because it knows what commensalism is. Cytodes really hate Asian weaver ants because they're on the ants menu, so they try to steer clear of them. Even the trademark spit doesn't work against them. It may immobilize a couple of ants, but not all of them, which means that the spitting spider is doomed. Phentella pietensis understands this quite well. These small spiders settle next to the weaver ants so that the ants can be seen, or at least smelled. That's it. That'll do the trick. The spitting predator will never get close to dangerous opponents. The little spider will be safe, and the ants themselves, well, they don't even know that someone out there is using them for protection. They just live their ant life. Now imagine you're an emperor shrimp. Despite the majestic name, you're a very small creature who finds it difficult to travel long distances.
They got crazy.
Since all the turtles' butts are already occupied by crabs, you need to look for an alternative way to get around. Uber doesn't work underwater, so you have to use a sea slug. Emperor shrimps are especially fond of slugs known as Spanish dancers, and sometimes two shrimps may travel on one slug. The slug is toxic to many creatures, which is why most predators avoid it, which means they don't bother the shrimp too. Also, shrimp sometimes feed on the poop of the slug. One can say that lunch is included in the cost of the trip. A shrimp can stay with the same slug for a long time, but if it suddenly finds a good place to feed, it can get off its back and grab a bite. Well, when the shrimp is full and realizes that it's ready to hit the road again, it jumps on the back of another slug and keeps going. And finally, I'd like to tell you about the cutest case of commensalism in nature. In my opinion, of course. Let's talk about butterflies. Like many other living things, they need to get sodium from somewhere. Flowers aren't of any help, so the butterflies have to look for an alternative source. Some species of butterflies dive into poop as their sodium source, others find it in the dirt, and some prefer tears. It could be turtle tears, though the turtles aren't particularly thrilled about that, or crocodile tears. Crocodiles are perfect for that because they tend to go torpid, which means they slow down their metabolism and lie still for long periods. In short, butterflies have plenty of time to get sodium. However, they also pay attention to birds, although this happens much more often at night, because at night, the birds enter a similar numb state due to a body temperature drop and just ignore butterflies. I gotta say that this method of obtaining sodium is typical not only for butterflies, moths do the same, and so do bees, and animals who shed tears just have to deal with it. Well, as long as insects do neither harm nor good, they don't have to do anything about it. This is how commensalism works.
That's
See you
crazy.
later.
That's crazy. That was actually super informative. Like, we learned a lot, actually. We saw some grossness, but there was actually a lot of informative information in there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I was sitting there like, wow, did not know that. Like, huh. And honestly, the very last one was probably the most interesting. Like, I didn't realize there was sodium in your tears. I didn't realize butterflies and bees and moths and shit would sit there and, drink the tears of, crocodiles and birds and shit. Like, that's crazy. Anyways, man, y'all let me know what you thought about that down in the comments below. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Peace.